Switch, you want to take it away?
Yeah, I just wanted to say about that last round. That is exactly why I like that play, because they're already kind of in a corner.
Wait! You can't do that before I do my part. I just thought you want to take it away. No?
What? Take what away?
I don't know, but wait. I just have to do my part. Just a second. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So Iceland won the first map 16-6 on Mirage, and now Switch, your thoughts. So I had to do this part,
No, I just mentioned it before the last round happened. That is why I like the play from Iceland, because Slovenia, they're already cornered, they're already under pressure because you have 9 or 10 map points. And once you just need to get into the site, and it's already, Slovenia is much likely to make a mistake in that situation because they're 9 map rounds down, and in a 3v3 bomb down, they're gonna feel rushed. Basically, if you get to the site, if you get the bomb plant, you have a pretty good chance of winning the round. And all in all, just Iceland played way better than Slovenia.
Yeah, 10-5 on the half. It was a good half. Pretty good, but then again, Slovenia had a chance, but something happened on that CT side and they were nowhere to found.
Yeah, because Iceland had a really good T side, and Slovenia lost that second pistol round as well. That was like 13-5 at that point, and it's really hard to come back. I think they fall under pressure. And they didn't really perform as much as they did against UK and Azerbaijan, because they had a really good start against those teams, and we managed to see crazy plays from Sevi, from Gomez, and some individual plays. They tried to do something here as well, those individual plays on their city side, but it didn't really work out because they were losing round after round, and you're basically demoralized after losing 4 or 5 rounds in a row.
Switch, do you think Slovenia underperformed, or just Iceland played so much better?
Yeah, maybe it's the case. Slovenia maybe underperforming. We saw, especially on the CT side, a lot of mistakes where guys, different players. It's not only just one guy. Imp, Gogi, even Sevi. They're trying to, once Iceland goes for an execute, they try and make a play all alone individually, and they get shut down. That happened in 3 or 4 rounds. All in all, I would say just Iceland played way better, and if I'm going to pick man of that map or the MVP of Mirage, I gotta say Capping. I'm not sure if he was the top fragger for Iceland, but the way he played aggressive on the CD side, he always had the good timings. I mean, on the CD side, on the T side in the first pistol round, I mean, his timings were perfect. And I'm not sure how, but even though he was aggressive on that A side, in ramp, in A-apps, for like 6 or 7 rounds, he was never punished for it. And that's a mistake from Slovenia. There's no question about it.
Yeah. It happened similar like last year. We knew just a little bit about Iceland and their players, but they seemed really good. Do you think this case will be the same in the second map?
Well, I think honestly, if the same map is Cash,
Dust2.
Dust2. Oh. I don't think really.
In reality, they don't have a chance.
Oh, no,
sorry, there's just some voices in my head. I don't know.
I honestly think Pali Bandi really played good with that AWP. I think when I saw him, he had a really good couple of flick shots, good couple of kills as well with on his city side. So Iceland with a big momentum coming into the second map, and Slovenia need to call it off and try to do something. So I don't think if they're going to be able to do that, but I would love to see them come back for that map.
I didn't speak to the guys from Slovenia, but honestly, I'm thinking that they don't know what hit them. I'm guessing they never played against these guys from Iceland. And even though they had some good results last year, I'm pretty sure Slovenia was like confident.
Yeah, we got this. Just the thing we were talking about in a pre-game.
Especially when you look at some other countries that they could have drawn out. They could have played against Spain, against Portugal, against Denmark. So drawing out Iceland, you're kind of okay.
It was like
but then again, getting shut down like this on Mirage on your pick.
It can be devastating.
It's trouble, yeah. It's definitely devastating, and they need to show up on this Dust2 or they're out. And honestly, after seeing Iceland and the way they play, their timings were pretty good. When Slovenia tried to go for that on the T side, to go for that kind of surprise play, pushing 4 guys from A ramp. They had 2 guys watching A ramp. So unlike Slovenia, where they tried some individual stuff, they were really playing together.
Yeah.
I mean, so I gotta say, I definitely favor.
Yeah, what would you guys advise, say now to Slovenia? Should they pick a CT side if they get a chance? Should they pick the T side, try to be more aggressive on a CT side, try to be fast and quick on T side, or just wait for a mistake from Iceland and boost their confidence, or what?
I don't know how they played against UK on that second map. They played Dust2, and it was in overtime. They managed to win it.
Yep.
So
That's true.
you were
19
watching.
17.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, you were not.
I was on my way home at that point.
Oh, so Dusan and
yeah.
Kasad.
Yeah.
So okay.
Wait,
Call
let's
Dusan.
call.
Yeah, let's call Dusan.
call
I have
Kasad.
a phone here.
Where's my phone? Never mind.
Darn.
So if they manage to get the win against UK, it was a close one.
Yep.
I don't think UK was as strong as enough as Iceland was on the first map on Mirage, because Slovenia won that Mirage against UK 16-8, and now they lost it 16-6. All in all, as I said, I didn't really know players from Iceland, not to take anything from them. Did they really play great? They surprised me. But you can see that they are playing together, and maybe not in a team, but they're playing probably together. They're from same country, mixes or stuff like that. So they really performed, like Svojke said. They had that refrags, they had team play, they had good flashes. Individual players were on point as well. So coming to Dust2, the more open and reliant map, it would be really hard for Slovenia if they don't have something prepared, even executes or stuff like that. So,
Svoj, would you agree with the tactic? I mean, what to do now if you're a player of Slovenia? How to recover from it?
I'm guessing picking the T side, just trying to, you're the one that's going to decide the tempo of the game, if you're going to go faster or slower or whatever. And hopefully, like you said, it's a name-reliant map. Hopefully your star player, Savy, can get there and start fragging for you, because he wasn't really there on Mirage. Yeah, he had a couple of good rounds. He had that 1v2 clutch in the round before the last one, but all in all, I think they all need to improve. I mean, we saw that one misplay where the guy kills Bomez at connector from jungle, and Matafe is just passing by. I mean, how is that possible? There's no way that can happen. I mean, they just need to step up. I think, Iceland played great, but I think Slovenia can do better.
Did we manage to see some anti-strats from Iceland on that Mirage? Is that something they used?
If we remember
their
correctly,
advantage?
and Slovenia did go for that pistol round A execute, Iceland had 3 guys on A, so maybe
they were ready.
Maybe that was the case, but we saw Slovenia going for the B side, and it didn't work out.
Yeah, and now again they played the same map. They played against UK. Again, some anti-strats.
Honestly, when I was checking out some of these players from Iceland, like I said, 2 guys from War Monkeys, 2 guys from Vika, but I haven't seen them on an international stage. So when I check those teams, seems like they have a couple of LANs or online events there on Iceland. So I'm guessing if this is one of little opportunities to show yourself on an international stage, definitely they could have prepared for Slovenia and use it to, show yourself at your best.
Who is, in your opinion, the positive surprise in this European qualifier so far? Estonia, yes, definitely. And I actually wanted to say Slovenia before this match even started, since they managed to win against UK, Azerbaijan. Any other country that managed to, play better than you expected?
Montenegro.
Montenegro? Yeah. Croatia?
Yeah, I would say Croatia. I mean, even though they lost...
Serbia, they played better than we expected.
They did?
Yeah.
Not really.
They managed to win Malta.
I was so nervous.
Come on.
No.
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 No, that was expected.
Don't go there.
Okay.
I was so nervous. I was watching that match against
I was
Bulgaria.
so pissed when we lost
bus.
that cash.
Well, you
bus.
weren't here, yeah?
Yeah, I was in a bus and I
Yeah.
had a free Wi-Fi, so I.
Any thoughts on that?
Did you
No?
see that cash?
Yeah.
I saw that train as well.
Yeah, that train was
I'm
magnificent.
not sure what was worse.
Let's
train or
stay.
cash.
Yeah, we just don't want to go there because it hurts just
Yeah, we
too
heard that
much.
Slovenia won the knife round and picked City side.
Oh, there you go. So is that the tactic you would advise them?
No.
No way. Probably they have a different approach.
In this situation, when you lost the first map, I would go for the T side. Be the ones that are gonna
Dictate the pace.
at least dictate the
Yeah,
pace.
I get it.
Try and go for that run and gun, because that's the kind of play that will bring your confidence back.
Yeah.
If you get a few rounds only on running and gunning, and Dust2 is a map to do that.
Yeah,
and you need some confidence back from
need-
Mirage because you got stumped.
And
Yeah,
if
they
we
need,
get
they need momentum. Sorry,
Yeah.
they need momentum.
In order to get back.
Yeah, if they start losing on their City side, I think that will be.
And just quickly before the predictions, if we even get to cash, do you think Slovenia has a chance there?
Sure. If
Yeah?
we get to the third map, 1-1,
Then it's 50-50, I guess.
I would say
anyone's
it's anyone's
game.
game.
Yeah. Okay, let's go with the predictions.
I don't see it. I'm gonna say Iceland 16-9.
I'll say Iceland 16-7.
May I go?
Yeah.
I say Iceland 16-5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
You
kinda
get
have a
5
feeling.
points.
Kind of have a feeling. The second map is about to start. Dust2, Scrawny, and Swoj. Takes away, boys.
Welcome back, everybody. Map number 2 already underway here into the pistol. And look at this. A full Kevlar buy from the side of Iceland and a push into the tunnels. Now, of course, obviously, guys, our analyst desk favoring Iceland here in the second map after seeing the performance and the teamwork on Mirage. I understand why. Capping with the first frag out towards Long. Now, that's immediately going to pull a rotation from Slovenia. Their mid players already starting to keep their eyes up on Long, but it's a fake. Already, Iceland starting to close out onto the B site here. Now, they have to clear out, seriously, they have to clear out Matafei. He was, of course, sitting inside that window, but he's dinked. Look at that. Two players already on the CT side, only sitting on 4 points of health. So Gugi is going to have to go huge, absolutely. And inside the site, Matafei has dropped, but now he's cleared. And this one's looking like Iceland are going to take the early momentum already.
Yeah, and once again, capping, I gotta say, I mean, he runs out of A long, gets that one kill, and draws all the attention to him.
Yep.
They all basically just killed the guy on plateau, and it's a free B site, and we know how hard the B site on Dust2 is hard to retake, probably especially on the pistol round. So Iceland starting it off well, and this was the problem we were mentioning at the analyst desk. I mean, Slovenia going for the CT side, if they start to get just shut down by Iceland, I don't see them coming back from this.
Now, they decided not to go for the armor pistol buy, but instead just grab a few upgraded pistols, and they will lay down some damage, as Ali's already tagged up to just 9 points of health, but he does find the first frag of the round onto Gugi, and then also dropping Savy to 10 points of health as he falls back to the pit. So, currently, Slovenia, they're going to have some presence on towards the mid doors. Now, this is potentially a good position, as there are players from Iceland on the other side, but Odds starting to push on through. They go for the Xbox boost. And then, of course, the aim punch just too much to deal with. So frags aplenty for the side of Iceland. Bomez with a good chance to maybe find one headshot, but he too will be denied. But comes in for the repeat, not going to be enough. Again, these SMGs and the mobility from Iceland is just too much to handle. Now, we mentioned in the pistol round, capping coming out long grabs the attention of Slovenia and then forces them away from that, giving so much information to Iceland.
And not only that,
On the CT side of Mirage, we saw the same thing. You brought it up, I believe, with the capping going into the palace, pushing for info all the time. He's such a crucial player for the side of Iceland that he is getting them so much info. The rest of the team just seem to be on fire. Yeah,
I gotta agree. And on the pistol round, he didn't just get that kill and get the attention. Once Slovenia figured that it's going to be, okay, Imp with a nice kill here. I mean, once again, a couple of upgraded pistols, but he's not going to get out of there alive. Back to the point, capping, I mean, not only that he got a kill on A long, but once Slovenia figured that it's going to be actually the B site, they couldn't really, just rotate back to B because they know he's there. And he's presenting that, that threat that is going to kill you from the back if you're not careful enough. And that's why we probably saw them coming from tunnels, the two guys. And I gotta agree. I mean, Capping is so far, maybe he's not there with the frags. I'm not sure if he top frag for Iceland on Mirage, but all in all, just overall, by his plays, he's just
They're
winning
huge.
them rounds over and over again.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's just it. I believe it was Ali on the top of the board on Mirage,
Yeah.
so he was there statistically speaking with frags. But then obviously impact of frags can't be calculated objectively, right? So that's up to us to decide. And obviously I agree with you. I think Capping has been massive. Even in that last round, he's waiting in Palace until the mid to B starts to present itself. It forces the player into tunnels. Capping, lying in wait, grabs the frag, clears the site. This round, look at this, pushing through smoke, another one. Capping finding a double frag as he just pushes through and opens room for his team. Absolutely stellar individual performance with the op pick as well into CT. That's just going to cement the positioning they've already acquired as the bomb does cross, and the last man, Imp, is just sitting on mid. Remember, this was a gun round, and it's just done in a mere matter of seconds with intent at that.
Yeah,
Beautiful play by Iceland, yet again started off by Capping's aggressiveness.
And I don't know who is the in-game leader of Iceland, but they're just on point. Like that round, the last round on Mirage, where they go for B, all of them. This is another round where I really agree with it. The first full buy round for Slovenia, the A-long is already hard to hold, and Iceland, I mean, go for it. If you lose that round, it's like, never mind, we lost one, let's go back to our standards. If we win this one, we're just gonna kill Slovenia, kill any momentum, any hope that they had going into the full buy round. So that choice to go for A-long, like the one to go for B, for the B side on Mirage, I mean, Iceland, in my head, they're just on point with the decision making.
And speaking of the momentum that kind of play solidifies, check out the cash for Iceland. Currently 4 players either near or above $10,000 already in round number 5. Now this is insane because even if they continue forward with these round wins, that money will only grow. If they start to lose, they will be able to force buy over and over again until Slovenia's cash is broken. We saw this happen earlier today with the momentum of the economy playing out versus in Estonia versus Hungary, and that could very well be playing again today. Now Ali and Oz are going to find 2 frags up from the top of Catwalk. That's going to be a decent clear out of the A site. But again, it is at least brought back a little bit here by Slovenia, able to find 2 frags, but that is all they wrote. Capping, again, with the mid presence, just keeping an eye out, waiting for that B player to rotate, dancing in between the doorway, expecting him to come from somewhere. He gets the read, gets the frag, and a 5th round up for Iceland. Still no answer thus far from Slovenia. And if we want to talk about setting the pace, Iceland, absolute domination thus far.
And maybe this is kind of an answer from Slovenia going for that double up, although I'm not sure if that's the correct answer, honestly, because you see Iceland, in these full buy rounds, they kind of want to go for these fast plays, and it's going to be a fast play once again, as we see Capping already on that short, although he's going to get shut down by Bomez. So first pick, I think first time on Dust2 going Slovenia's way, so maybe they can make something work out of it. Maybe this double up setup is what they need to basically stop Iceland. But the thing is, like you mentioned, I mean, their money is so good, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna be able to buy, even though they lose this one or the next one, they're gonna be able to buy at least 3 or maybe even 4 times. So, I mean, tough job ahead of Slovenia.
Absolutely, especially since Iceland are currently in the 4v5, right? So they know they're on the back foot at this very moment, which means all they're looking for is to get a refrag. And every single refrag that they're able to grab is going to cost Slovenia moving forward if they win the round, considering they'll have that economic reset to deal with. So Slovenia have to finish this round off in a very clean fashion, and Matafei will do that, grabbing 1 on mid, Sadie coming with a peek in from window to grab the second, and Imp saving the life of the Opera. Now the last man's Pally, who does grab 1, but he is shut down after that. So again, minimal losses for Slovenia. If they were going to win a round, that's the exact way they had to do it. A very clean round at that, only losing 1 man. You can see the rebuy come through with kits, armor, utility, and rifles all across the board. They continue with the double op setup, and now Iceland are going to have to dip into that reserve cash moving forward.
Iceland in a 4v5 trying to go for that B split. Savvy with a double kill, I think. Matape getting that one through the smoke. Capping once again along, once again gets 1 kill, gets the second one. I mean, Capping is just, I mean, doing an amazing job for Iceland. Once again, that they get that A-long control. And I mean, Slovenia, they lost only 1 player in that last round. So if they lose this one, they can probably go for some kind of a buy, but it's not going to be great. And Iceland, like we said, even though they bought this round, I think Capping and Ali, they're around 10k. Yeah, like you see, Capping 9.2k. So their economy is just flourishing.
And the beautiful thing about that is not only is their economy flourishing, which allows them to rebuy over and over, but it means that during these rounds, they can continue that aggressive play they've been using. They don't have to worry about their own lives because they have cash to play with. It's the CTs who have to be passive. And when you have to play that careful counter-strike, it's when the other team can just kind of push you out of the way. And now Odds from Catwalk is looking to do that. He has 3 CTs heading his direction, but Bomez rounds the corner first. The trade frag coming through by Savy, landing the op shot and almost hitting his teammate. But the trigger discipline is there, and he finds himself a frag. So it's a 2-man advantage currently for the side of Iceland. Make it 1. Savy with the wide peak, going to be fragging out. Palabandi to trade it back with an op shot of his own. So Savy now the last man standing and capping hot on his heels. Of course, Lit with only 7 points of health. You'll spot the player jumping through. Again, capping, making plays, going for that big flank while the rest of his team just holds the line. The economic reset is going to have to be dealt with by Slovenia, and that is not where they want to be. The momentum that was crucial for a Slovenia series comeback has been taken so far by Iceland. Now, we are only halfway through the first half, but still, things are not looking good. We mentioned Slovenia had to come into this one hot to get the momentum, to get that mental fortitude, and thus far, Iceland have just been continuing what they started on Mirage.
I'm not sure whose idea is to go for a 3-5 with retake with 2 AWPs, but it's not a great idea, I gotta say. I mean, imagine if they saved those 3 guns going into this round. They probably could have dropped something to the other 2 guys that were already dead. I mean, that decision, yeah, I figure you're losing 5-1 at that point, and you know, you're kind of pressured and all that. But like you said, we're only in the 8th round of the first half. There's plenty of time to make a comeback. And going for a 3-5 retake with 2 AWPs, that's not a play.
That's not a long-sighted play. That's the kind of stuff you see in the end of the Mirage game where they had to go for it, when they only had 1 or 2 rounds to play with, but they can still come back in a slow way, maybe trying to push it a little too much. Now this round, they're in a similar situation with 2 AKs, so worse weapons than what they had before. This is a worse situation, and they decide to save.
Yeah.
So they learned their lesson. At least they learned their lesson. They will move forward with these guns.
I mean, they paid heavily with 2 AWPs and an M4. That's like what, at least 15 with armor and everything, 15K worth a lesson.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
a
lesson.
very expensive lesson. It's like North American education.
Good one. They're gonna be able to save these 2 AKs, but nevertheless, they would have probably go for a full buy here. So these 2 AKs are going to just enable them to get a bit better buy than they would have had. 7-1, 8 rounds in, Iceland getting 7 of those, and I think Iceland once again is going to go for a power play, go straight into the B side, and let's see if this works out for them.
Now that flashbang will blind up the first 2, and Imp going to be able to line the spray. Bomez with a double. That's 2 double frags in the round. Slovenia finding some footing here towards B. So Iceland trying to pick up the pace, trying to keep up the aggression, but the Molotov kind of forces the smoke. They come through blind with that flashbang as well, and then they all die. Now Palabandi's going to find 1. Gugi getting aggressive out towards A long. He's going to lose his life, but 1 casualty in the round for Slovenia is a perfect position for them to be in. They have very rarely been in such a big advantage, so they will enjoy this moment while it lasts. It's just up to finding Palabandi, giving him time even. There's a minute and 10 to play with. I would be very disappointed with Slovenia if they were to try to hunt this frag now, as opposed to just waiting it out. Eventually, either Palabandi will make the play, or he'll fall back. It seems as though he's still making up his mind as he just jiggles between the top of tunnels and back towards mid, waiting for an opportunity to present itself. No matter if they're getting mid, this could give it to him. Both players spotting each other. It's a very sticky situation.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I mean, an AWP on Palabandi, yeah, it's big for Iceland, but he's gonna get that in the next round anyway. And Slovenia, they really need to take control of their economy. 4 guys surviving here is pretty crucial. Bomez, they kind of went for that hunt, as you said, but they don't pay pricey lesson this time. So they're gonna find that kill. But as I said, Palabandi, he's going to rebuy that AWP with no problem. That was a good round for Slovenia, surviving with 4 guys and shutting down that power play from Iceland. That's a fail smoke for A long, and seems like Capping is going to go for a solo play on A long, but he gets shut down with that Molotov. So Slovenia, for now, able to stabilize Iceland, slow them down, just slow the tempo down and try and win it. That was a
try to
good
kind
round
of-
for Slovenia, but like I said, with the power play, Iceland, they don't really care. They lost one round. It's like, never mind. Let's try and play slower.
Even losing that money is no deal to them.
Yeah.
Obviously, the repurchase here is so healthy. Like, they're in a very good spot, and you can see the moment that Slovenia shut down the push in the last round and then used their grenades to slow down this round, Iceland are still comfortable in this position. Look at them slowly work their way around the map. They've gone to the standard split where they have one player watching long, one watching tunnels, and then three guys just slowly working their way up catwalk. Iceland are very comfortable. They're just waiting to find themselves a pick before they decide to execute. Now, of course, it's a 5v5, so still, either team's round, it just comes down to the initial frags. And Slovenia doing a good job of at least holding that long control. This means that they can have a player next to the car, next to the game helper, trying to wait, but a bit of a rotation here. One player down towards mid as they put two inside the site. That's going to leave Matafei completely isolated. The smoke pushing him back into CT spawn. He comes up through it to try to find the frag, but Cruiser will nail it. Cruiser being traded back by Savy. The bomb still working out. Ali with another frag out towards long. This map presence is all in the hands of Iceland.
Yeah.
3 players for Slovenia trying to rotate out from B site, 2 going mid now as Gomez still sits CT. Gomez trying to find an engagement, but Palabondi there with the op, ready to go for the repeak. So Slovenia has to be cautious. They are already man down. They get 2 as Otz grabs another and Palabondi gets it. So it's Savy now in a 1v3, looking to do exactly what his name says, save away, my friend, as he runs out towards B. At this point, there's nothing more for Slovenia to grab. Iceland, they wanted to play Slovenia wanted to play a slow pace of the round. Iceland said not a problem, and they come back into this one with another victory.
Yeah, and this is obviously like a repeat of that round where they tried to retake 3-5. This time it's 3-4, and yeah, it's not 2 AWPs, but then again, your economy is not great. Try and save that those guns for the next round. I mean, yeah, again, we're only in 11th round. This time it's a bit closer to the end of the half, but then again, you're on the CD side. With 5 or 6 rounds on the CD side, you're quite good. I mean, just look at it. I mean, if they save those 3 guns, they won't have a CZ and 5-7 in their hands, but Savy opens it up this time, landing a headshot on Cruiser, so maybe they can do it with only pistols, but then again, I don't agree with that decision to retake the 3v4 with 3 guns.
It's unfortunate for Slovenia as well because that wouldn't have been a retake. Only 5 seconds earlier, Slovenia had 2 players still on the A site, but for some reason they go and put a second player, the original mid-man, inside the B site, and everyone just kind of shuffles down one spot, right? And when that happens, that's when the cat push happens. That's when the bomb gets to the site, and that's where Slovenia are kind of forced into the retake if they wanted to go for it at all because they had lost that site control, which is a shame because, like I said, 5 seconds sooner, and Iceland would have been walking right into the crosshairs of their opponents. So maybe Slovenia are going to be trying to bring it back. Of course, that first op pick definitely going to be helping them out, but still cat control has been taken, and this is a slow one from Iceland. You can see the bomb still sitting out by the car. That's going to be retrieved now by Ali, who will probably make his way up catwalk with the rest of his team. I'm interested to see if they do leave a mid lurker, because if not, with 5 players standing, Slovenia can start to grab some very nice angles for this retake. But again, pistols only. The range not going to work out to their favor, and Iceland are inching themselves closer and closer to the site. 30 seconds left here as finally the bomb is going to start to go down, and they're going to be playing for the cat after plant, but they'll have to be cautious. Rudy already in a good spot, but he drops, capping again with a huge kill. That one's going to set the precedent for Iceland. Slovenia bringing it back as Matafei takes a single, but this is still only a 1-man advantage for the counter-terrorists. Their weapons limited, and another frag. Gomez dropped in, trying to find the refrag. He tags up Palabondi and Matafei with another, but he doesn't spot Ali. This is a 2v1 suddenly. Slovenia in a very good spot as they have the knowledge of his position. They have the op trimmed down upon him, and when he goes for the peek, Savy's gonna miss, but luckily Matafei's there with the M4 to find the frag, and the 10-second defuse does come through. Slovenia able to grab another one, even though this buy was not favoring them.
Yeah. Savy opening it up, Matafei with a triple kill to end that retake, and they pick up that second op, so Slovenia is going to have that double op set up again. I think they won last time they had a double op. Yeah, that's when Iceland went for that B split, but the second time they went for that retake, gotta mention that again. So maybe they can do something with the double op. Is this another fast play from Iceland? Nope, they're gonna just go down B lower. So 8-3, Slovenia winning the 3rd round. There's still 4 rounds to be played in this half. If Slovenia takes at least half of that, I would be satisfied if I was them.
Look at this though, the mid to B already starting to make way, and the CT smoke going down. That's going to not help out Rotation will be delayed. 2 players inside the B site they need to hold, and Bomez, one of them with the op, grabs the no-scope, saving with a frag as well, and a second from Bomez. Great op play here on the window to secure the site. The captain coming through is going to grab the second frag after Odds helps out from that door. So the mid to B does work, and it is still a 3 versus 2. Slovenia with the man advantage and the health at that, capping incredibly lit, but he could be in this corner. I think Googie spotted him. He didn't, but he still gets it, able to react accordingly. So a nice play. Odds now in the 1v3, tries to take back that tunnel control, but Googie on the flank, able to grab his first 2 kills of the game. And that one is going to help out. That's a huge 2 frags to find. Slovenia with a 4th round, and Iceland now coming up a little bit short on that B take. Great op play from Bomez to hold that initial line.
Yeah, that's not, you know, that play is not like planned, but it works out for Slovenia. Nice double no-scope, jumping no-scope from Bomez. Googie finding his first 2 kills actually in the game. I didn't notice that so far, but he finds those 2 kills and they win the round. And like I said, Slovenia, I mean, if they're able to win like 5 rounds on the city side, I would say that's okay. Although, if they win this one, I think Iceland's money is going to be broken. I mean, believe it or not, since they had that economy control throughout the game. So if Slovenia wins this one, potentially there's another one as a reward after that.
But this cat control has been taken yet again from Iceland. This is going uncontested. Now, normally what they'll have is Savy playing with that op on top of the bricks, just waiting for the first pick before he drops to CT. This time they don't have that player committed to the position. Instead, Savy will be on the corner next to Carr, waiting for the push to come through. And that's an incredibly strong position for the op to be at, because you can fall back afterwards and take repeats, second shots, as they do try to push through. But it does come down to landing it at that. Now, Matafei on the ramp, he's going to be the second player trying to defend, but look at this. They're boosting on top of each other's head to look around the corner, and that almost works. Palabandi with a shot, but Matafei crossing too quickly. Now, he'll have to be cautious as the aggression starts to come through. Iceland definitely wanting to commit to the A site here, already able to drop a player down. Now, Savy's going to get pushed, and Cruiser opening that up wide. The 2 frags clears the A site. Bomez secured down in the CT spawn. He's going to be the first player to rotate, but Ali already through the doors. He's going to be into the engagement. 2 more frags for him. Googie, the last man, only finding 1 thus far. That's Cruiser. An absolutely huge round from Cruiser there. He drops in from the bricks into the CT spawn. Because it's smoke, they never see him, and then he closes the distance on the op, who's just waiting for the cap push. So taking a very strong position when all you have is those AKs, not relying on an op to find the counter pick. Great play by Iceland, again up catwalk towards the A site.
And I think that Iceland has the same read as you do. I mean, they figured that Slovenia doesn't go for that cat control at all. Their mid control is very weak. Basically, Iceland was 4 guys, I think, or 5 even, on catwalk, and I don't think Slovenia had any idea there. Ali once again with the triple spray down. Just nice sprays from Ali round after round. And this is another one for Iceland. Like I said, if Slovenia, if they can win that one, they could have probably won this one, since Iceland's money is, you know, whittled down. But it's the same case. Slovenia lost that one, lost the consecutive one, just a clean anti-eco round for Iceland. 11-4, I said it. I mean, four rounds to be played. If Slovenia wins 2 more, it's going to be good, but they won only 1. If this ends 11-4, and it's not a great start, great damage done on that mid. I mean, 11-4, that's a great halftime score for Iceland.
Just going to prove that they're not only relying on strong counter-terrorist play, but instead taking it to the T side here on Dust2. And Ali's going to get aggressive. That'll cost him his life. Matafei with that CZ, able to find the first one. Now that's going to be a man advantage for Iceland, but keep your eye on the health. Slovenia, 3 players incredibly tagged already, and none of them wanting to find an engagement, because all it's going to take is a few stray shots. Bomez still, while tagged, able to find one, and this is a 5v2 out of nowhere for Slovenia. Now, considering it's the last round of the half, they're going to give it all they've got. They have nothing to lose, and thus far it's paid off. Now, the utility obviously limited, as they are only sitting on 3 flashes, but it doesn't matter because Iceland only has 1 frag. Imp, he will have a chance to stop this, but denying it with the first frag, and still it is up to Bomez to try to hold the back of the site, laying down some lead, buying time. The frag grenade dunks down and capping with the frag, but he has to cross the door, and that's where Savy catches him. Round number 5 for Slovenia. So even though they came into that one, a bit of a gift being given by Iceland.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit too much aggression, maybe jumping the gun, but either way, a 5th round.
I gotta agree. Iceland just being a bit too cocky. going,
Yeah.
Individually players going for different plays, and 3 of them basically got shut down at the same time, and all of a sudden it's a 5v2, even though Iceland did pretty huge damage to 2 guys that were guarding B. I didn't think that's possible for Slovenia, but they won that 5th round, and 10-5. This is a similar story as on Mirage. It's exactly the same score, although the T side of Dust2, I would say, is maybe easier than the CT side of Mirage, and especially if they, even if they lose this one, I think they have more chance of bringing it back on the T side of Dust2 than on the CT side of Mirage. It's going to be a fast A-take from Slovenia, going out that A-long, gets a double kill, capping, able to take the one, but not the second one. Odge now playing behind the smoke, nice flash. They're gonna spot him, they're gonna get into the sights.
At least for the time being, there it is. Odds with another frag. Matafei to hit it, but the bomb has tapped, so now they know it's there on the site. Gomez with a refrag, and here it is. Imp going to be catching another alley drop in Slovenia. They're able to grab that initial control. You see them pick up the pace, but then they wait just a moment. They throw down their smoke grenades towards CT spawn. They allow for Iceland to get on the site. And then when they decide to finally go for the fights onto the site, they're well aware that Iceland are nearby, so they actually wait, grab the headshots instead of necessarily trying to express that bomb plant. Very well played by Slovenia so far to set the pace of the T side. Now, they're in a very good position to start converting these points, to start making a comeback at least somewhat plausible. 2 AKs and a scout thus far, but the pop flash long is superb, and it's going to grab both Palabonde and Cruiser a frag. That's going to be an AK acquired. Huge weapon now in the hands of the CTs, picked up off a dead terrorist in Slovenia in a man disadvantage, incredibly spread out right now. One player watching each of the far flanks, and then mid-man, that's going to be Imp with that AK. So he is the last rifler, other than the scout. Of course, Savy just keeping an eye on the push, but he'll have to be cautious because Palabonde is already inside that doors. So Iceland with the map control, Iceland with the numbers advantage, but Slovenia still has the advantage of these big fire-powering weapons.
Yeah, but that play, I mean, that's what you get when you put 2 guys on A-long, and they're trying to do what? I'm not sure. They're gonna go for A-short now, but Iceland already has a guy flanking them. I mean, again, it's capping. I mean, his positioning so far in the game, in both maps, has been incredible. He takes the 1 kill. Again, they're in a disadvantage. It's 3v2. He gets some damage on Imp, but they're gonna go get into the site. Ellie is there. Palabonde, even though he's low HP, he gets the 1 kill. And now Gomez 1v2. We saw him in this position, I think, once or twice on Mirage. He was able to clutch that one on B, but not the one on A. And again, Gomez, he basically needs to clutch it for his team. Pulls out a USP. I'm guessing he knows that 2 guys from Iceland are low on HP.
Currently, Palabonde is really lit, and he's starting to get closer to the site. Now, Gomez has to be cautious, because if these players split him, then he'll be looking in 2 different directions. He's aware. He's going to go for the wide peak, grab the burst of capping, trying to spray it, but he's only got 4 shots. Does not matter. He only needs 1. Gomez able to clutch it out here, grabs the AK. Now, Slovenia with another round. Sure, they convert it, but an incredibly close one. Yep. Much closer than it ever should have been. Beautiful A-long play by Iceland with those nades and the push off the, with the flash, and then the push off of it with the pistols. That was great, procuring the weapon and then giving them a shot at the comeback. Obviously, Iceland had no business even coming close in that round, yet they still managed to find themselves right on the cusp of victory. Incredibly lit clutch there from Gomez. And it pays off, so good on him in order to put another round up for the board. He is, of course, the top fragger currently for the side of Slovenia, and he's trying to claw his team back. They're only now 3 rounds away, and this next one should be easy for should be easy versus Iceland anyways.
Yeah, this is going to be a technical pause for Slovenia. They're having some trouble, I'm not sure. It's going to be, they're all buying up, so I'm guessing it's going to be over fast. I don't know. But I just, I gotta agree with you. I mean, even though they lost that round, they did enormous amount of damage to Slovenian economy. You can see the money on Slovenia. Just remember how many, how stacked Iceland was on their T side, because they were able to take clean rounds, the clean pistol round, the clean second and third round, even the first full buy round. I think they took that one without casualties. So their money was through the roof. On the other hand, Slovenia losing 4 guys in the second round of the second half, their money is already kind of broken. I'm guessing they're going to take a clean round here since they're going only against a few upgraded pistols, but then again, I would say a good start of a good second round for Iceland, even though they lost it. And like I said, this is going to be just a cleanup from Slovenia, getting out that A-long imp, double kill, and lucky to survive on only 1 HP. Gomez, he's going to spot Ali on mid. Is he going to win the pistol duel? Ali just backs off. Palibondi is there, so maybe they can create some kind of a crossfire here. Oh, Gomez destroys Palibondi, and now it's all on Ali. They know he's in the B tunnels. Gomez, will he find the second one? Not sure why he's chasing this, although he only has the pistol, so there's that. And the clean round, like I said, clean round for Slovenia. But now, I mean, if they're gonna stick with the SMGs, then they're gonna have some money going into the next round if they lose this one. But if they're gonna upgrade, okay, they're gonna stick to an UMP and the MP7. So even though Iceland wins this one, Slovenia still will have some money. And power play, no power play from Slovenia.
Thinking about
no
it.
B-rush yet. But
I mean,
they're going to go for some kind of a surprise B, I guess.
Smoke's coming through. Allen working his way to a good position, starting to tag players. Now there's another one dinked already, sitting on only less than 10 points of health. Palavati with the frag from the back of the site. Imp with the refrag. But Gomez also dropped as he tried to round the smoke, and Cruiser with a beautiful spray down. Savvy now the last man up. So we were mentioning how Slovenia had to win these rounds cleanly. Well, now they're not even going to win them. Instead, at least, unless Savvy goes for a massive 1 versus 4. But Slovenia not buying into this round number 4. Instead, not upgrading and keeping those SMGs. That's what Iceland did to them. Yeah. Savvy's going to drop, as expected. Capping, keeping an eye on the flank as they do rotate over for that bomb control. And of course now, this will allow Slovenia to rebuy into it. Now, there's two differences between last half and this half. Last half, Iceland won their 4th round, and so they move forward with a bunch of economy. The difference is, even though Slovenia lose, they still have a nice healthy buy, and this is a very good chance to reset Iceland's economy, something Slovenia didn't get the chance to do because they obviously just lost straight through the first 5. So that's the difference here, and that's really what Slovenia are going to be looking for, because that's the only way they can justify that save, is that if they come back into it with this one, because Gomez doesn't have in a primary, but Savvy watching it, and that's exactly what they needed, the first pick, going the way of the Slovenians.
Yeah, I like the idea from Iceland. That's something that we didn't see from Slovenia, not once from their city side. And again, capping, I mean, this guy is just, his timings are perfect, his pushes are on point. He once again gets a kill for his team. Now he's gonna back off, yeah, that's a play. That push in B, that flash, I really wanted to see Slovenia doing it on their city side, get some info, get some map control, being a bit aggressive on that city side. But it doesn't pay off for Iceland. Ellie goes down. You don't really expect an AWP watching the smoke from that position, but Savvy gets the kill. It's back to a 4-on-4, and seems like Slovenia wants to go for a B split. The thing is,
so Palabondi trying to hold the window. He's going to find the first one, and he's getting anticipating the tunnel push, but instead drops the player coming up from mid. Gomez will be able to refrag, but this drops the bomb clearly in the eyes of the counter-terrorist, and there it is. Odds with a frag, Savvy with a triad. It's going to be capping the man of the hour to go for the peek, and he finds it. Savvy, again, caught in the open, not necessarily covered, but that round all coming down to dropping the bomb carrier. So very big play from within the B site, even though they don't stop the entire split from both tunnels and mid. Just dropping the bomb carrier is enough for the rest of the Icelandic players to rotate over, keep eyes on it, and then clean it up. So for them to now get a second consecutive round already on their CT side with the first pick this round, Slovenia are in a very scary position. 4 versus 5, and they've been bottlenecked already. Their position inside tunnels will be found as Iceland are just starting to roam all around the map here. I'm sure with 3 players mid, one of them's going to go check the top, start to lurk around, and once they have this information, they'll be able to keep Slovenia in this cage. Now capping with an angle on towards the top of mid, towards T-spawn, looking for frags as Imp does trade out towards the bottom of Tons, but that's the bomb in the hands of Iceland, and the round most likely as well.
yeah, and that's why you usually see the C4 on a guy coming from the tunnels. If you're already going to split that B site, put the C4 on the guy that comes from tunnels, because even if he goes down, if your guys from mid take control of that B, they can pick it up and plant a bomb. If your bomb carrier gets killed before he gets into the B, it's problematic. And I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but I gotta say capping. I mean, he got them the first pick in that last round and the clutch 1v1. So Slovenia this time going for a fast A long, and they're gonna just clean up 3 Icelandic players there. I mean, economy is not great. We mentioned this when Slovenia was on the CT side. Maybe this is already a save call for Iceland. Although Ali, I mean, I like this idea. Maybe getting some info, finding some picks. He's gonna hear Savvy here. Going for that A long, and they have the players from Slovenia, you know,
Boxed
in between them, yeah.
Oh, there's the pop flash, and it works. Blinds 3 players, but Palabandi only able to grab 1, and then Savvy keeping eyes on the flank. So they get the read on what exactly Iceland were trying to accomplish, but still very well done. In a 2 versus 4, if they're going to take the fight, then they need to try and throw something tricky at the team, and they do just that. Palabandi, with the perfect timing on the flashbang, almost gets the chance to line up more than 1 player, nearly grabbing 2 frags as he flashed all 3. And then Ali, with the timing, trying to react to Palabandi's attention grab, nearly finding them a lot of frags there. But Slovenia able to hold it, well on them. After finding the initial advantage, they close out the round, but this time, in round number 23, Iceland going to be finding the first pick. And regardless, Palabandi back down to a 5-7, so this bye is difficult for Iceland. They're gambling all of the marbles here, and yet they're off to a good start. Swapping the op out to the player with health, good idea. Capping is tagged and falling back from mid, so Slovenia with a bit of map control and a bit of presence, but since the bomb is still down at the top of tons, they're gonna have to take this slowly.
Yeah, and Iceland with cat control, something we didn't see from Slovenia on their city side, and Odd is going to be the one playing on the A side. Eli gets another kill on Gugi, but they're going for that cat control, Slovenia themselves, and Bomez gets that kill on capping, and now they have Odge surrounded in that A side. I'm not sure if they know that he's there. Savvy with another kill, a really nice kill from Savvy. Odge, he's gonna, you know, get them that info, but he's gonna take down Bomez for it. So now they know there's at least 1 guy on A. They don't know the position of Palabandi that has that AWP capping through him. And you see the C4 drop in front of the B tunnels. They're checking it. They don't have any info if anyone knows the bomb is there. And it seems like they want to go for that B. It's 20 seconds to the end of the round. Both guys from Iceland sticking to the A site. I like the idea, 2v2, don't split up. Take the risk, and yeah, Palabandi is going to spot them. Now they're into the B site, and in this situation, even though Savvy is on 24 HP, I would say Slovenia has an advantage because that B site is tough to retake.
That was a strong flash to get the ball rolling. Unfortunately, nothing capitalized on the opportunity. Matafei still from the back of Platt, and Savvy underneath the window just waiting. Odds looks like he wants to peek the door, and he's getting ready to jump on through. Clears the car, but he's taken down from the back of Platt, and Savvy with the second. Palabandi drops. So Slovenia in that round. Now they leave the bomb outside of tunnels, and even though the player who had gone to retrieve the bomb dies, the plan, by the looks of it, looked as though, I believe it was Gugi, had to go grab the bomb and bring it back towards Catwalk. He dies in the process, and then Iceland think that the push going towards A site has the bomb with them. So they commit to the A site hold, and luckily for Slovenia, they are forced to go back to B, where it is wide open. So they grab the bomb plant, and then, as you mentioned, a very difficult site to retake, especially when you don't have utility. Slovenia able to capitalize on the round and looking for more as Matafei finds the opening pick. Cruiser getting aggressive towards the top of Cat. Of course, this is just a pistol buy for the side of Iceland, so they're not necessarily looking to win it, but at least dealing down some damage. And Savvy's going to take some more, but Gomez jumping up on Xbox drops. Palabandi from the door peak, and Imp now trading back as well. Slovenia doing a good job of trading out frags, holding this 4v2.
Yeah, this time it seems that Slovenia is going to get the clean round. If 4 guys stay alive, that's pretty good for their economy, because we're coming to the end of the map. A few rounds left to play, and the economy is pretty important. You want to be able to buy constantly if you drop around here and there. Eli is the only one alive. He's going for a huge, big flank all the way from the T-spawn. And he's going to try and set up a trap here on A long. There's really no need for Imp to go that way, but he will. And if he gets killed here, I'm going to be furious. He backs off. Okay, he heard me. He backs off to that A pit, and seems like Eli is not going to get anything for his troubles. He's going to be 13-11. Iceland probably able to go for some kind of a buy in the next round, although, yeah, we see Ellie 4.4. I'm not sure about the money on the other guys. All around 4.5, 4.5k. Yep, they're gonna go for a buy. No AWP, 4 and 4s.
Gonna be a rough situation for Iceland, but they're gonna try to hold it with very little utility. Now, of course, they do have one kit at least, that one being on Cruiser, so keep an eye if it ever does drop. But a long play, capping, not reacting right away, but still able to find the kill on Bomez, who came out blind. Unfortunately for him, that cost him his life. So Slovenia now at the man disadvantage, trying to react quickly. Look at this, an immediate response as they push up Catwalk. That's going to start to net the map control and potentially a split towards A, but it will be Iceland to try to hold it from the cross. Ooh. Odds going to be dinking up Matafei. He nearly gets a frag, but instead it will be Cruiser to fall back with 9 points of health. So two players already very tagged here. And Odds from the ramp will be clear. Now that's a good clear from Matafei. Still trying to push on forward as the bomb will be planted for a cat plant after position. Palabonde with another as he starts to come up from CT, but it's traded back. Again, Matafei doing a very good job of initially pushing back the counter-terrorists and then also clearing them out of the site as well. So Slovenia paying off so far in the round. It is a 1 versus 3 now as Gugi grabs another kill. Ali working his way up from CT spawn, drops it out, and another 2k from Gugi to clear things. That's Slovenia now 1 round away, and Iceland, all of that progress they seem to have made, it has been slowed down. This one getting scary close.
Yep, and Iceland's going to take the tactical pause because they're in a bit of a trouble. This is the second time now that Capping gets them that first kill and the advantage, the 5v4. And the second time they lost it. The first time he got the advantage on mid with an AWP. This time he gets a kill on A long, but I guess Slovenia with a great reaction spotted at least 2 guys on A long and straight away rushed to Catwalk, get the kills. Iceland was a bit off in off positions, not really set up to defend that cat. Guess they had no info that Slovenia is so fast going for that A, and they lose the round. And like I said, twice you have an advantage and twice you lose it, so Iceland in a bit of a trouble, especially because I'm guessing they're gonna go for kind of an eco round, maybe some upgraded pistols in this one, so it's probably going to be 13-13.
And the crazy part here is that as this game goes on, as we get further and further away from the start, Slovenia's team is starting to get themselves actually grouped together on the scoreboard. There's obviously Gugi struggling a little bit, but he had 2 frags in the first half. He's already up to 7 already. So he has improved thus far on the T side. Obviously, we just saw him grab another 2k at the end of that round. But meanwhile, Iceland remained very sporadic. We do have Capping and Palabonde who have been coming huge, especially Capping with the impact of his frags. Not only does he have 27 kills, but most of them are high impact, and he has the least amount of deaths. So he's trying to do all of it for his job, for his team here. Early round, late round, mid as well, and yet Iceland just seems to be coming up short. It needs to be a team effort at this point. Once you get into these crucial, 25 plus rounds, it's everybody having to pull their weight, and thus far it's been Slovenia who seem to be working a little bit better as a unit, as far as frags go anyways.
Yeah, and Iceland's going to have basically the same setup they had in the last eco round, although they have some upgraded pistols, some 5.7s, even some Kevlar, so who could have afforded it, went for some pistol Kevlar action, and it seems that Slovenia is going to go for the B side. Iceland has 2 players there. Ellie gets a nice headshot and gets a lot of damage to the second player. Palabonde is still there, but he gets taken down, and we already mentioned it. Once you get into the B side, it's really hard to retake. Iceland tried to fight immediately for it, and they get demolished. So Slovenia losing 2 guys? I think that's okay. Their economy is in a pretty good spot. 13-13. Whoever wins this one is gonna get the lead pretty late into the half. So this time,
is where it matters.
Iceland, their response is the double up setup.
Now currently they do have Capping sitting over here towards long, and the second Palabonde in mid. So keeping an eye on the long lane down the middle door, but Palabonde will have to be cautious because there's players nearby. And this looks like a mid to B hit. Matafei already applying pressure, but ooh, he lines it and he nails it. Both Bomez and Matafei dropped down immediately from that. I believe that's where Bomez took his damage. Yeah, so
If
very
he
nice
was-
shot, dealing damage, but not grabbing frags. Still, this is going to tilt things ever so slightly into the hands of Iceland. They have 2 players currently nearby to the A site, although one is kind of isolated down in CT. Odds will have to be cautious, but Cruiser with such a long hold, these players on the A site can just wait and keep their focus on the cap push.
And this is an action that we saw from Iceland a couple of times, just dropping down. Is anyone going to drop down? Yeah, Imp, I think. No, Googie is already down. They have 2 guys in city spawn, but they are blocked with that smoke. And Imp is going to win that crucial fight on A long. Capping is still there, but will Imp find him? Capping missing that op shot, hitting the second one, so back to a 3v3 and health advantage for Iceland. But Capping, I gotta say, that was a slight misplay. Savvy gets the kill. Now Ali pushing alone. This is something like we saw from Slovenia on their city side of Mirage, just trying to go for some solo plays, and it really doesn't work out. Pelibundi, he's going to save this AWP, and you could say that Iceland, or particularly Capping, was slightly unfortunate in that round. I mean, if his shot was to the head or maybe not through the door, he could have gotten a double kill there on mid and pretty much win the round there then and there. But not lucky, and it's going to be the 14th round for Slovenia. The buy for Iceland is not going to be the greatest this time, and Slovenia, if they can take this one, they're off to double map point.
And not only does Capping's initial shot is a missed opportunity for the side of the CTs, obviously just so close to finding those frags, but then also Googie finding the first kill. It was a team kill, actually, versus Slovenia. So another opportunity presenting itself, but look at this fast B push. Already Odds pinned down behind the car. Now he does have support in from window, but of course that player tagged in the initial engagement, Ali, falling back and at least just waiting for the team to rotate through. Now, of course, we've mentioned earlier how difficult these B-site retakes can be, although currently there is utility for the side of Iceland. Now, they can throw some smokes here from mid that'll actually block off the car position, can block off platform and tunnels. If they actually know how to employ that properly, then the retake is at least made a little bit easier. Gomez is currently sitting inside the ramp, or excuse me, inside the tunnels, so they could have at least cut off one position. But we'll go for the save. And I think this is an intelligent decision from Iceland. They are 2 rounds away from overtime. They have not been able to find many rounds here on their CT side, so they will make it as likely as possible by saving all of these guns, all of this Kevlar, and even finding more frags as this one starts to close out, taking it actually to a man advantage. And Slovenia getting aggressive, going to lose another one. Savvy and Gomez still from this angle. They're looking to take down a player on Iceland's side, but it's cost them 2, and of course the economy on the side of Slovenia is fine, so they're not going to worry.
Money is not the issue
again,
for Slovenia, and I praised Iceland for their play on the T side. I really agree with Slovenia and their play going for the B side. If you can get to that B side and trade properly, there's no way Iceland's going to retake. But I gotta say, Iceland, I agree with their play also. Just saving the 4 guns, save it for this time. Gomez gets taken down by Pelibundi. Oj gets some damage done on Googie on mid. But Capping falls from Googie instead, and it's back to a 4-on-4. If they went for that B retake, they probably wouldn't be able to fight for this round. Like this, we see it, Oj with that save them 4, he's gonna get another kill. So saving the 4 guns in the last round and trying to fight for this one is definitely a better idea. Ellie gets 1 kill. Imp is gonna try and push through the smoke, nice flash. This should flash Imp. No, he turns around. Ellie wins the fight anyway, even though he's only on FAMAS. And it's all on Savvy. 1v4. Yeah, some of them are pretty lit, but still, 1v4. This should not be doable for Savvy.
He moves up 65 points of health, and that's all it takes. 1 shot from Pelibundi to secure it. Now that round, actually very nicely played by the side of Iceland. They go for the initial push into tunnels, Capping, trying to grab some info. And then once he dies, his teammate who's nearby, Ali, just drops the Molotov and falls back to the site. The moment that happens, Slovenia know they had 2 players committed to the B site, which means odds are mid to B is a little bit weaker. You see them try to get in there a little bit, try to peek through the doors, just at least get a feel for it. And yet, even when that happens, Iceland are able to find the kill. That kind of gets the snowball effect. They go for the B push through the smoke, and Ali holds the line. So very nicely done by a bunch of different players there on Iceland, taking the initiative all across the map in order to find themselves a 14th round and continue fighting here for overtime. Still, 5v5. And all players well equipped right now, utility armor and guns, so this one really going to be as heated and close as possible out the gates, but a cap push already coming in from Slovenia, and only 2 defenders currently for Iceland here to hold the line. Long being held onto by capping. He will have to deal with Matafe once he pushes through, because Slovenia are trying to set this 2-pronged assault.
Yeah, it's going to be the same execute for Slovenia, the same execute they already did, and the one that Iceland did a couple of times. It worked, I think, every single time for the T side, so why not go for it? Here comes the cat push. One guy jumping down. Slovenia Imp getting the kill, although Palibondi getting the one, getting the second one, and the third one. Palibondi is doing great stuff for Iceland, although that repeak was not necessary. Matafe winning the crucial fight on A long, and now they have that part of the map under their control, and both guys from Iceland coming from the CT spawn.
Ooh, Savvy spots one though when he jumps on up. Now he's going to get another shot on to drop. Matafe going, times it perfectly. Ali to bring it back, but Savvy with the last bullet and the last say, securing the last round and bringing us to the last map. Slovenia still alive here, 16-14. Iceland, even though they had that dominant T-side performance, they come up just a little too short, and Slovenia doing a very good job of surviving this despite starting on the CT side, where we kind of gave them a little bit of criticism. So we're going to throw this one back to the analyst desk, let them unpack what it exactly is we just saw unfold, but the crucial piece of information is Slovenia are still here to fight.